Hey everyone, welcome to part 2 of how to save money on a vegan diet. So, if you have gone vegan, you're already saving a lot of money as it is. Cutting meat, cutting dairy, cutting eggs, all that adds up. Well, you can save money in additional ways. If you haven't seen it yet, there's part 1. Well, it's in this corner right here. And you can watch it now, or you can watch it once you're done watching this video. It's up to you. Join a food co-op. Food co-ops are like farmers markets, except it's a community that gathers around to save money with food in bulk. And you can purchase from food co-ops that are started by local farmers or by co-housing communities. And there's actually, I have a list below of different food co-ops throughout the United States. So take a look at that. Add more variety per meal. So make like a rainbow plate where you have a lot of different nutrients. And so it balances your nutrients, but also allows you to have, I guess, less of the more expensive items and more of the cheap items. Like say if you have rice as the base and you top it with different vegetables, that'll be cheaper than if you were to have a plate of broccoli and then a plate of cauliflower or something that's been lightly steamed, and that be your meal. And also it's more filling, and you save money by doing that because you're not going to be eating later on in the day. Have a core set of fruits and vegetables during the week, and that way you don't have too much variety in your overall diet that week. So most people do their groceries weekly, and instead of diversifying in a few types of vegetables here and a few types of fruits there, and mixing them into a big variety, that costs a lot more than if they were to invest in a bulk amount of strawberries or a bulk amount of lettuce that they can use throughout the week in different meals, and they can use it in different ways, in diversifying their rainbow plates. But they won't have to spend a lot more money on each meal as a result of trying to diversify the ingredients. Price check your farmers. In other words, just like with supermarkets, compare for the lowest price. And you can do this at one farmer's market. There's going to be multiple vendors selling tomatoes right now, for instance. And you can check the prices of each one, go to each vendor, and see who has the lowest price for the most product. And also, if you want, for a week where you don't have enough to buy in bulk, you can check who has the best price for the lowest quantity. So like some people will have like 2 for 1 instead of like this massive basket for a lower price per ounce or something, or per pound. So that would help you as well. Also, instead of just checking at your local market, if you have other markets nearby, like say if you're near other cities or other towns that also have farmers markets, you can price check those as well if you're willing to spend the gas money on it. Depends on the distance. Sometimes it might not be practical. But around here, a lot of the cities are really close by, so it's not an issue. So just do what's best for you. This is an option that is not good for raw vegans, but is good for any other type of vegan to save money. If you really need to save money on a particular week, and you don't want to purchase a lot of different goods or buy wholesale because you don't have the money to buy wholesale, then what you can do is purchase more rice and beans or nuts and grains during that time period, just until you can save up enough to buy more fresh produce than those weeks. So if you don't have enough to buy a lot of produce, then you can substitute some meals or incorporate in some meals some rice, beans, and other kind of legumes, and nuts, seeds, and grains, because they're normally lower cost goods that are still relatively healthy for you. Talk to the produce department and see if they have any kind of fruits or vegetables that they're going to throw out. Not because they're bad and that they're going to, they've already gone bad and they're going to be bad for you to consume, but if there's food that's already ripe that they're not going to sell because it's ripe, then you can buy those instead. And they'll typically offer you a lower price on that produce because they were going to get rid of it anyway. Limiting your consumption of processed sugars, coffees, and alcohol. Limiting your consumption of breads. Get your food wholesale, either from a supermarket online, like Walmart has a lot of organic food that is safe and healthy, believe it or not, for wholesale. So they'll sell in bulk. They'll sell in bulk on their website, whereas they wouldn't in their shop. Also, Sam's Choice, and there's other wholesale markets out there that are physical markets like Whole Foods. They have bulk goods as well. So wherever you can buy your food in bulk, you'll save money. And finally, the most obvious way to save money becoming a vegan: grow your own food. It's the most obvious way, and for a lot of people it's difficult, especially if you have an apartment. You might not be allowed to have your little patch of land that you can grow food, but you may have a little terrace or a windowsill that you can just, put little planters on it or hang them right above it, so they can get the sunlight that they need. So you might not be able to grow as much as you would like doing that, but it's definitely a start, and it's a good way to save money on, for instance, herbs. Herbs cost a lot of money, especially dried herbs. Well, no, especially fresh herbs. Those are way more expensive than dry herbs. And you can buy the plants already grown, or you can buy them from the seeds and grow them up. And if you want to expand and not just have herbs, then you can actually, stack your planters, along a wall or a windowsill. That way you can grow more in less space.